As you get settled in, just try and check in. Notice any props that you'd like this morning to support you. If you do have a prop underneath your head, a blanket or something, just make sure that it's not too thick or too high and takes your neck out of neutral alignment there. So just a slight support. And I invite you to rest your palms on your lower belly. Allow the upper arm bones to rest on the floor. Notice if there's any tension in the shoulders. Just invite them to soften and relax. Relaxing your facial muscles. And we'd like our knees bent at this time. So it's a relaxed position, but it's still a little more alert than if we were in Shavasana with the legs extended. And then check in. Right? Just relax your body into gravity and then notice, feel into that kind of sense of heaviness or that letting go into the earth. And arrive into the moment. So a willingness to let go of whatever occurred before beginning the class or whatever you have going on afterwards. Let all that melt away for a bit. And then notice any areas of your body that are trying to get your attention today or want some extra care. Acknowledge them. And then take a moment to observe your breath. And feel, right now, just feel the breath moving in and out of the nostrils. Just experience the airflow through the nostrils. You might notice one side is a little more open than another or congested. It switches throughout our day. And then where else do you feel the breath in your body? Where do you experience the breath? Now, mental and emotional body, Manamaya Kosha. Just noticing where your thoughts may be wandering. A willingness to bring them back to the practice, to this gift you've given yourself today. One of the tools you can use to bring your attention back is the breath. And we're not shaping it at this time or lengthening, we're just simply being aware of it. And as we become a little quieter or more still or more present, we can connect into our wisdom body, that inner knowing, that inner voice that speaks to us that sometimes is soft, and unless we slow down, we just don't quite hear it. And may you connect more deeply to that small, still inner voice throughout the practice so that your choices align with what's for your highest good. And the more we strengthen that trust in our inner wisdom, we take it off of our mats and out into our daily life. Bring your awareness back into the breath and begin to deepen it. And for the next few rounds, or maybe about a minute or so, we're going to inhale through the nose, nice full deep inhale, pause at the top, and then just slowly let the breath out. And we're going to do the first few rounds together so you can just kind of feel into this, and then I'll allow you to, you can find your own pace. So wherever you are with your breath, go ahead and empty out completely. And then when you're ready, you're going to take a deep, full breath in through the nose. And hold at the top and just feel the breath expand and move out all the way to the fingers and the toes. And then slowly, mouth closed, out through the nose, let the breath out. And again, full deep breath in. Hold and rest in that sense of expansion. And slowly let it back out. Everything relaxing. A few times on your own here. Notice any tension that may be creeping in. Relax the shoulders, the facial muscles. And at the completion of your next exhale, allow any shaping of the breath to fall away again. And just notice any sensations. And before we move into the next part of the practice, I would like to share a reading with you from the Book of Awakening, and it's February 10th. And it's called What Your Life Asks of You. Like many of us, I seemed to be continually challenged not to hide who I am. Over and over, I keep finding myself in situations that require me to be all of who I am in order to make my way through. Whether breaking a pattern of imbalance with a lifelong friend, or admitting my impatience to listen to my lover, or owning my envy of a colleague, or even confronting the self-centeredness of strangers stealing parking spaces, I find I must be present, even if I say nothing. I find I must not suppress my full nature, or my life doesn't emerge. Aside from the feeling of integrity or satisfaction that comes over me when I can fully be myself, I am finding that being who I am, not hiding any of myself, is a necessary threshold that I must meet or my life will not evolve. It is a doorway I must make my way to or nothing happens. My life just stalls. Tending our stories means that our lives must open if we are to live in the mystery. Our ways of hiding, no matter how subtle, must relax open if we are to be. And I share that story because every day we come to practice together. Each time you unroll your mats is an opportunity for you to be honest with yourself, to be true to you through the choices that you make through self-care. And so as I always and continuously remind you, allow your choices to be in alignment with your truth today, with who's on the mat, who's showing up in this moment, and honor that person through your choices of self-care. As I guide you, also be your own guide. So bringing your awareness into the breath again and begin to lengthen it. Comfortable length, but it is longer than you would normally take without really concentrating on it. So it's full, maybe about an 85% of capacity. And just feel for a moment the fluidity of the breath, a smooth transition from the inhale to the exhale, exhale to the inhale. I'd like to begin our practice with one form of Viloma Pranayama. And I instructed this one in the video I shared in my newsletter over the weekend. And what we'll do is interrupt the inhale into 3 parts, hold at the top, and then slowly let the breath out in one smooth, continuous exhale. And this breath is about bringing energy into the body. And so we're going to take several minutes here with this breath, and then we're going to take a moment to just feel and notice what the results were for you, what sensations this breath had for you today. Okay. So wherever you are, go ahead and empty your breath out completely. Again, I'll guide you through the first few rounds and then allow you to move on your own. So we inhale about a third of the way, pause, another third, pause, and fill up, pausing at the top, and slowly and smoothly release the breath out. You can exhale through the nose or the mouth. And again, inhale a third of the way, pause, another third, pause, and the last third, pause at the top, and slowly let it out. Continue to keep the shoulders relaxed, facial muscles relaxed. Just move with this at your own pace. You can hold a little bit longer if that's comfortable or desirable for you between the breaths. Go several more rounds here. At the completion of your next exhale, let go of any shaping of the breath. And just feel. Notice the sensations of the results of that breathing practice. You'll be experiencing this in the energy body, so it's more subtle. Find your way back into a nice even flow of breath. You might even, on last Monday we worked on counting the breath, and I'm not going to count it all for you today, but I would encourage you to find it yourself. So right here, maybe it's a 4 count or a 5 count, maybe it's a 6 count, it doesn't have to be really long, but just even it out so the inhale and the exhale are the exact same length, and allow that breath, that equal breath, to guide you in your movements this morning. So if you did place anything underneath your head, let's go ahead, move that off to the side. Well, go ahead, you can keep your palms on your belly if they're still there if you'd like to. Even breathing. Feet are hip width apart. Actually, yeah, now let's bring them all the way together. Let's do a little low back movement or care here. So we'll begin with our sacral rock. Feet stay planted in the floor. So notice the inner and outer edges of the feet, and they stay connected into your mat. And we just slowly move the knees side to side. Right across your sacrum. And then you can listen to your body and notice if it would feel nice to create the movement a little bit bigger, in which case you might feel the edges of your feet roll up a little bit. And I'm still going to encourage you to, unless you've already gone for a walk or been on a bike or been to the gym or worked out in some way, I'm going to ask that you keep this still fairly small because it is a twist as the farther we drop the knees. And we want to make sure our spine is really warmed up before we really go into a deep twist. And with these smaller movements, it's easy for the breath to fall away. So we have to be very mindful to stay with that even breathing when the movements are smaller. Bring all that back to center and take your feet hip width apart, parallel. Again, the hands can stay on the belly if they're comfortable there. You can shift them if you'd like. And we'll come into our hip sliders or hikers. Just hiking the hips up towards the shoulders. So again, here we're working with our sacrum and our low back. Bring that to center. Pelvis should be neutral. And then we come into hip pointers. Pressing into the right foot, right hip bone points up to the ceiling and back down. And the opposite. Present with the breath and your physical body. So we think of these warm-ups as a way of inviting the physical body into the practice, an opportunity for you to continue checking in, noticing areas that need some tension that you didn't realize. And as always, listening to that inner teacher. Allow your choices to be in alignment with your truth today. Come back to center and then alternate between these two. A few hip hikers and hip pointers. And bring all that to center. Feel the area through the low back and the pelvis, just noticing the sensations. And then we'll go ahead and draw the knees into the chest. As we hug the knees in close, we let the breath out. And inhale, arm lengths away. So this is a nice one to start connecting you with that count of breath. So if you have a 4 count, You would inhale silently to yourself 4 counts, knees move away, and then exhale 4 counts as you pull them back in. And by counting the breath, we do keep it even. It also is something for our minds to play with other than the stories they like to go into. So just maintaining that breath helps to quiet our minds, as well as bring, a real mindfulness into the movement with the breath. And then we'll take this into knee circles, one direction, big or small. And then circle the other way. And find that back to center. Place the feet into the floor. Let's take our feet as wide as our mats. Open the arms wide. Finding our way into our double knee drop. The exhale releases the knees to one side. We inhale just the top knee, opening up nice and wide. And the exhale releases the knees to the other side. So you can find that count of breath here and slow down this movement that we do virtually every practice. Creates a mindfulness to a movement that we could check out on because we do it all the time. That a whole saying, you can do it in your sleep. Let's stay awake. If you'd like to add the rotation of the head, feel free to rotate it opposite direction the knees go. You bring the twist gently all the way up into the cervical spine. And it may feel better to keep the head still. And when you've gone equally side to side, bring the knees back up. Feet parallel, hip width apart, and about 4 inches from the buttocks. Or feel as if the heels are directly underneath the knees. Arms by your side, palms down. Heart, chest open. And we're going to go ahead, inhale belly, ribs, and chest. And then exhale chest, ribs, and belly. So just a few more rounds feeling this, and then we're going to coordinate this breath with a moving bridge. So inhaling belly up to the chest. And then exhale chest all the way down to the belly as it releases back towards the spine. We inhale through the nose, and then notice if you'd like to exhale out through the nose or through the mouth. Allow that to be your choice. So we're going to take this idea of breathing from the belly and up to the chest into the moving bridge. Right? So wherever you are with your breath, go ahead and exhale it out completely. And as you inhale into the belly, feel the hips begin to lift up off the floor. And then the breath moves into the rib cage, so the mid-back starts to come off the floor. And we fill up into the heart as it lifts. And then we exhale from the chest to the rib cage, and then all the way back relaxing the hips back into the floor. So you're just following that breath, full body breathing, inhaling, roll the spine up off the floor, belly to chest, and then exhaling as we roll back down, chest to belly. You can feel this as a wave through the body as we roll the spine up and back down. Riding the waves of the breath through the body. The next time you exhale, pause for a moment in the movement. Stay with the breath. Just that even breathing. Full body breathing. You don't necessarily have to direct it from the belly to the chest at this time, but you can if you're enjoying that. And then we'll find our way into our 3-part bridge. And we'll continue with that 3-part breath. Belly, ribs, and chest. And now we're going to engage with the arms. So when you're ready, on your inhale, the hips lift, belly expands, arms reach overhead as we complete the breath into the chest. Leave the arms there. As you exhale, chest, ribs, and belly. Feel that nice stretch through the shoulders and side body. Inhaling, belly, ribs, mid-back, heart, chest. And then exhale, everything moves down together as we roll the spine back down into your mat. Just breaking this apart differently, thinking of it in a different way. Inhaling, belly, ribs, chest, arms overhead. Leave the arms as you exhale, roll back down, chest, ribs, low back, belly softens. Inhaling. And everything exhales together. So just a few more on your own, and just following the breath through the body as it moves with it. Complete the round that you're on. Pause when you finish and feel. Feel the echo of your choices. Maintain that even breathing though. Not necessarily 3-part, but continue with that nice flow of breath in and out. So you can keep your arms by your side, open them out wide a little bit, or place the palms on your belly. I'm going to leave that up to you. What we're going to do is bring your feet all the way together, knees too. And then we're going to go ahead and inhale to your count, whether or not you're using a 4, 5, or 6 count, and allow the knees to open as wide as it feels right for you, bringing the soles of the feet together. So just a slow motion kind of butterfly movement. And then the exhale draws the knees closed again. So with your count of breath, inhale slowly, open the knees as wide as it feels safe for you. And the exhale, we draw them closed. So this is nice for the sacrum, the low back, the groin, and the inner thighs. And you might also feel, some of you, through the IT band, the outer thigh, or the hip. Right? It's going to be different for each of you. Allow yourself to rest in your truth, your experience. Stay present to it. And just move in and out of this with the breath. Nice and slow, even movements. The next time you draw the knees closed, pause there, relax, stay with the breath, relax the body and just feel. Good, so let's roll to one side and find our way to hands and knees. Mindfully placing the hands in the mat, maybe as wide as the mat. Sometimes that feels really nice. Just to take a wider stance with the hands. It gives us a bigger platform. It might feel more stable or just maybe more open. So just notice that for yourself as opposed to shoulder width apart. Just notice, just feel, just an opportunity to check in and move different ways. Just noticing what resonates with you. Knees are underneath the hips, hip width apart. Okay. You can rest on the tops of your feet, on the toenails, or you can curl the toes under. Again, notice what feels right. Just giving you some options here to check in with that inner teacher. And then draw the navel to the spine, so we keep a gentle engagement of the belly, supporting our low backs. And on an exhale, we round the spine and find that count of breath. And then inhale, open. So you find that 4, 5, or 6 count, so the movement in and out of a cat-cow is even. The body being led by the breath. Inhaling as we come into a gentle back bend, heart softens towards the earth, head and tailbone lift. And then exhale, and we round the spine like a cat. When we become very habituated in our practice, like I said earlier, we can check out when we really invite things to slow down, be more mindful, connect within the breath. It really changes the depth of this practice. And then we'll go from here and take this into our Chakravakasana. We're drawing back into a child's pose. So the exhale brings the sits bones back towards the heels, just as far as you can for you. Depends on your knees. And then inhale back to all fours. Navel's gently engaged. And we're moving with that even breath. Exhaling back. And inhaling up to all fours. So we're going to add on here a little bit, stay with that even count. Come to all fours, inhaling there. Pause on the exhale. And then we'll come into our alternate arm and leg lift so that you inhale right arm, left leg, shoulder height, hip height, core is strong. Exhale back to all fours. Inhale left arm, right leg, no higher than shoulder and hip height. And exhale back to all fours. And again, just find the rhythm of your breath, your count, keeping this even and as smooth as possible, transitioning from one side to the next smoothly, evenly. This requires some core strength, balance, coordination. As most of us have found out occasionally, if we try to do the same arm and leg, we tend to topple over. Now you can stay here or add on to this so that as you exhale, you go back into that child's pose. We inhale the opposite arm and leg. And then we exhale back into that child's. Nice, slow, controlled movements. Make sure you've gone equally side to side. And then the next time you find your way up to all fours, curl the toes under and come into our first down dog today. And go ahead and just bending the knees, pedal the heels in and out of the floor, shift through the hips. Moving through the spine. And then go ahead and walk your feet up to your hands, finding a standing forward fold, Uttanasana. And hang out here for a moment, let the head go, allow the spine to drape over the thighs. We're finding a soft stretch in the back of the legs, so bending the knees if you need to, or coming up on a block, or even resting the forearms up on the thighs if necessary. Okay, so you find your version of a forward fold that feels safe to you, that's not creating stress or strain. And take a few breaths into the pose. Nice, even breathing. You might even notice a bit of a pulsation in the upper body as you inhale. You might feel a slight expansion or lift through the heart and the chest, and the exhale, it relaxes into the fold a little bit more. And then from here, let's bring our hands to our hips, bend the knees, engage the core, lengthen the spine, and come up to standing. So taking a moment to find our feet underneath us, find our equilibrium. Arms relaxed by your side. Just breathe here for a moment, just feeling the practice so far as we find our way to standing. And leading from the pelvis and the legs, just start to sway side to side. Just let the arms, they just swing, they're totally relaxed. There's no effort in the upper body, it just happens to be following what the lower half of the body's leading. Knees are soft, slight tuck of the tailbone, Spine stays tall. Shoulders, arms relaxed. Just moving subtly through our energy body. So all these sacred movements we do are one of the best ways to connect into our energy body. These slow, subtle movements with our breath. Do a few more. And then begin to slow this down, where the movements become a little smaller, until you're back at center, and then just feel the energy body. Just notice the sensations. They're so subtle that we really, until we drop into some stillness, they're hard to notice. And yet when we do, they're pretty amazing. Good. So let's just connect now with the upper body. Inhaling, arms reach overhead. And palms down as you exhale, flooding our body with all kinds of goodness. Right? All kinds of nourishment or healing, good thoughts. Just inhaling, we take it up from the earth. Exhaling, fill ourselves with all that nourishment. Find that even count as you move through this. We're going to add on so that as you inhale and you get to the top of the breath, hold, press down through the feet, reach up through the fingertips, holding the breath, just feeling that stretch, even bring the arms slightly behind the ears. And then exhale and float the arms back down. And pause for a breath here and just feel that stretch. It's almost like we created tension and then we feel the body flooded with that energy. And we'll do that again. Inhaling. And hold at the top and reach and stretch and press down through the feet. And exhale. And again, feel. And one more time, inhale. Full deep breath in, hold at the top, stretch to those fingertips, reach into the shoulders, feel the side body, root down through the feet. And exhale. And feel the energy flood the body. Good. Interlace the hands in front of you. Again, we'll start a few rounds with just some smooth movement. The inhale brings the palms up. We rotate them at the heart and press up to the ceiling. Gaze up. That's all one inhale. And then exhale out wide again. So a few times just like that. Interlace in front. Inhale. And exhale. Let's go two more, just like that. At the completion of your next exhale, pause. Notice the sensations. And then we'll add on to this. So interlace the hands just like we did. Inhale, press up, gaze up. Exhale, soften the elbows, soften the knees. And then inhale, press up and lift the heels, reaching as you press down through the toes and hold the breath at the top. And then exhale and release everything slowly back down. Pause and feel. And again, inhale, press up, gaze up. Exhale, soften the knees, soften the elbows. Inhale, press up, heels up. Inhale deeply, hold the breath. And exhale. Pause and feel. And again, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And hold at the top. Heels off the floor. And exhale, everything releases. Breathe and feel. Good. So we're going to go ahead and inhale, bend the knees, cross the arms in front. Inhale here, exhale, press one palm up. So I'm rotating to my right. Right palm down, left palm up over the crown of the head as I rotate to the right. Inhale, center. And exhale, press up, press down. Inhale. Find that even count. So whatever count you're working with, find that here as you move through this mindfully. Wow. You can bend the knees more deeply if you'd like to, or minimize it if you'd like to. So you can move in and out of a squat if that's available to you today, or ever so slightly bending the knees depending on what you have going on. At no point in time do we lock our knees though. So even when we're pressing and rotating, the knees are soft. When you've gone equally side to side, we'll come back to center. And relax into a Tadasana and feel. And just notice the energy body just by simply breathing as deeply as we are. Okay, so even that alone can really change what's going on in our systems. Just the deep breathing, then combine it with the movement and it's very powerful. So we're going to go ahead, rotate to the right. Okay, my palms are going to be up, my knees slightly bent. As I inhale overhead, straightening the legs, and then exhale back into that semi-squat as I rotate the palms down to the left. And then I'm going to inhale, palms up, come back to center. Exhale, bend the knees, palms down, rotating to the right. And then inhale. And exhale with your count of breath. So you might be with me, but since I'm talking, I'm not really counting my breath. I'm feeling like I'm fairly even, but I may not be. So really find your rhythmic breath. Works for you today. Smooth, continuous flow of movement with the breath side to side. So a nice safe twist. And the next time you inhale, reach overhead. Palms face down as they flood your body from head to toe. Exhale. And pause and feel. Good. So let's find our way into our half salutations with your count of breath. So some of these movements are rather small, so you're going to really slow them down. So I find about a 4 count usually works best with this, and you can certainly lengthen that and go even slower if you want to. So go ahead, finding your Tadasana, arms by your side, let the breath out completely. And then we'll inhale, reach up. Take a hold of one wrist as you exhale to the opposite side. Inhale back up. And switch sides. Inhale back up. Exhale out wide. Hands to your hips or low back. Inhale. And the palms run down the backs of the legs. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale halfway. And exhale, fold. Inhale back to standing, arms by your side or out wide. And we'll just move through this slowly with a nice even count of breath. Working all sides or all directions in the spine. Let's go one more round here. If you're ahead of me, moving a little more quickly with this. As you find your way to Tadasana, just pausing there. As you find your way back to Tadasana, just checking in with practice so far. And then just noticing how your choices are in alignment with what you need today. And whenever we go through a series like that in a movement and then I get quiet and I just allow you to find your own pace with it, notice if there's something that you changed up. Right? Trusting that inner teacher. And maybe it was just a little bit of confusion, you weren't sure what to do, and yet maybe it felt better. So trusting that, trusting the way that you move in your body is what's right for you. Okay? It doesn't have to be rigid in a certain way. And really listening from within. Okay? So find a block, just one block. And we're going to place it at level 3, so the tallest level, out in front of us. Okay. And then we're going to find a straddle. So I've got lengthwise to my mat. So if you need to change your mat around so you can still see me, but I think we can verbalize this pretty well. And really no, wider than hit your ankles to your wrists. If it feels better to go wider, do so. If it doesn't, then go ahead and narrow the stance. Okay, again, personal choice. This is just an average, so to speak. Okay, so place your hands on your hips, engage the core, slightly tuck the tailbone. Root down through the feet as you feel the spine lengthen up. So we're going to keep the spine nice and elongated, please. And then we're going to fold at the hip flexors, not the waist, but folding forward. So we reach with the heart, folding at the hips, keeping the spine nice and long and the core strong. And we'll bring the block to us so that we feel like it's resting almost underneath the shoulders or even slightly out in front. Shoulders are down and back, so hug the shoulder blades onto the back body. Lengthen the back of the neck, slightly tucking the chin. So we should feel like the whole back body is nice and long. For those of you, of course, whose hamstrings are tighter, you may have to bend your knees here. Please do so. Okay. For those of you who aren't feeling a whole lot, your challenge will be to not lock in your knees. Okay, the knees are soft. So we're going to keep the left hand on the block, right hand to your hip. Okay, so everything's lifted and long. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. With your hips moving, so they're going to move with you, we're going to rotate to the right into a twist and then back to center. Okay. We rotate to the right, find your breath and notice what direction resonates with you. Do you want to inhale into the twist or exhale into the twist? What comes most natural to you? I want you to trust that. All I'm inviting you to do is just keep that breath even so that you move in and out of this twist slowly. We'll go one more here. Allow your hips to shift with you. So you might start to feel a little something in that left inner thigh, right? And then back to center, release the right hand to the block, left hand to your hip, core engaged, spine long, shoulder away from the ear, that right shoulder, and then same thing on the other side. Rotate into the twist, and back out again. Several times. I think we moved in and out of it about 5 times. All 4 points of the feet stay anchored. Spine long, core engaged. Nice even breathing. And then when you've gone equally side to side, back to center, both hands on the block. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and move side to side using the arm. Okay, so the arm's actually going to reach up, and now we'll alternate sides. All right, so again, noticing what direction that you resonate with in taking the breath. And then when you're ready, with your 4 or 5 count, whichever you're using, rotate to the right as the right arm opens up. You can keep it on your hip if you have any shoulder or neck issues here that isn't serving you, right? And then come back to center, and then we rotate to the left. You can rotate the gaze up to the ceiling as well. So you're moving the twist all the way up into the cervical spine. And just evenly side to side. When you've gone equally side to side, come back to center. And then you can either keep the block at level 3, or notice if you're ready to lower it to level 2. Takes you just a little more deeply. We are going to stay lifted here. So what we're going to do now is shift side to side through the legs, and now deliberately feel that stretch through the inner thigh. So bending the right knee, shift over to the right. Keep all 4 points of that left foot in the floor. Just take this as deeply as you can. Come back to center slowly with your breath. And switch to the other side. Bend the left knee. And feel that stretch in the inner right thigh. Right foot planted. Back to center. And you move back and forth or side to side with your count of breath. Core stays engaged. I'm always having to remind my shoulders to stay back. Maybe we all have those areas in our body that we need to check in with a little more frequently. And the way we move. When you've gone equally side to side, rest at center, pause and just feel. Feel the choices you make, feel the practice, the results of our choices. And then notice if you can lower the block one more. Now you can stay at level 3. Right, you can come flat, or some of you may be ready to remove the block altogether, bringing the palms into the floor. So we're coming into a straddle forward fold. We're just going to hold and stretch with the breath. So again, whether your hands are in the block or the floor, that's going to be up to you. And then from here, we're going to work our way through into the middle of the feet, if that's available to you. Okay. And another option is actually finding the deepest expression of this forward fold for you, and then reaching the arms out in front, palms or fingertips. And then that same idea of the body kind of floating up and down with the breath, so that as you inhale, you feel the back body lift a little bit, and exhale releases. You can even exaggerate this a little bit, in and out like a pulsation with the breath from the upper body. And bring the hands back to center, slightly out in front of you, maybe on the block still. Start to heel toe, bring the feet closer together. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Standing forward fold. So the feet are hip width apart, or even a little bit wider if you'd like. Head hangs, spine drapes over the thighs, and hang out here for a moment. And then bring your hands to your hips. Bend the knees and press up. Relax and feel. And then notice if you'd like to shake that out a little bit. And then if you're not at the front of your mat, come back to it. And we're going to find our way to the floor with grace. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, fold forward. Walk both feet back. Maybe do one more down dog. We didn't spend a lot of time here today, if that would feel nice for you. And then if it's available, come back into a child's pose to pause there. If that's not a comfortable resting position for you, you can certainly come onto the belly instead. You can bring your head to the floor or maybe to your hands in child's pose. You do this on your belly too. Another nice option, this doesn't work if you're on your belly, but in child's pose, you could take your block and rest your forehead on the block. Just enjoying that gentle pressure point between the eyebrows. Kind of helps to quiet the mind. And then we'll go ahead and come on up. Roll onto your backs. This time, no blanket underneath your head, please. Let's go ahead and, but have a block nearby. So you can check in and notice if you'd like to just stay here in a neutral position of the spine, or if you'd like to come into a restorative bridge pose, in which case we want to use the block at its flattest level, right underneath the tailbone. Bring your palms to your belly if you'd like, or have them open wide. And here we're going to take a few minutes to reverse that three-part breathing. So as you begin your inhale, you fill the chest, then the ribs expand, and as you fill up, the belly opens. And the exhale, the belly relaxes, rib cage and chest soften. Okay, so just reverse order, inhaling from the chest to the belly, and exhaling belly to chest. So just ride the wave of the breath within the torso, even though the body is supported and still in a restorative position. Find 2 more rounds of breath here. And then you'll go ahead and remove the block. Just take a few breaths, feel the practice. We'll draw the knees into the chest. And then go ahead and find your way into Shavasana. So whatever, if you'd like to have a blanket underneath your head, something rolled underneath your knees. If you're feeling a little chilly, you might want something on you. As you find the legs extended along the floor, arms a little ways from your side, palms up, shoulders open, spine neutral, allowing the body to drop into the earth, really surrendering into gravity. You guys find Shavasana. I'm going to come to seated as I share a Yoga Nidra practice with you. Make any last minute adjustments so that your body is completely comfortable and supported and you're not distracted by it. Allowing your body to open to the earth. Heels a little wider than hip width apart. Palms face up. Relax your whole body. So we're going to help to deepen this relaxation before we start our guided meditation. And here we're going to go ahead and reverse the breath that we did at the very beginning of class, which is to split the exhale up into 3 parts instead of the inhale. And this is meant to be calming and relaxing. So wherever you are with your breath, empty out completely. And take a nice, long, smooth inhale. Pause at the top. And then release about 1/3 of the breath. Pause, and then another 1/3. Pause. And empty out completely. Pause. And one long, smooth breath in. Hold at the top. Exhale 1/3 of the way. Pause. Exhale another 1/3. Pause. And empty out. Pause. One smooth breath in. So just on your own, pausing 3 times through the exhale. And a long, smooth inhale. At the completion of your next exhale, let all shaping of the breath fall away. And just feel into the energy body. Notice the results of the practice of that particular breath work. And again, noticing if there's any last minute adjustments you'd like to make. As you relax your whole body, become aware of the space that your body occupies and sense a nurturing tone to the environment around you, and the atmosphere charged with ease and healing. As your breath remains effortless, sense that as you inhale, your body and mind are being recharged and replenished. And as you exhale, you're willing to let go of all mental or physical tension. Inhale, mind and body recharge. Exhale, all tension melts away. Let go of any intentions with the breath, any shaping of the breath, allowing it to flow naturally, finding its own rhythm. Bring your awareness to your midbrain or your third eye center. And deep in that space, sense a point of light, like a luminous star in the midbrain. And as you relax, sense the breath present in that space. And we're going to take this blue starlight point of light through different areas of the body, and each point that it touches is an opportunity to heal. It has the healing energy perfect for you. So bring your awareness and feel the starlight point of light in the throat center. Right shoulder, point of light. Right elbow. Right wrist. The breath, presence, and light. Tip of the right thumb. Index fingertip, point of light. Middle finger, relax. Ring finger. Little finger. Right wrist, point of light, relax. Right elbow. Right shoulder. Throat center, healing point of light, whole body effortless. Left shoulder. Left elbow. Left wrist, point of light, relax. Left thumb tip. Index finger. Tip of the middle finger. Ring finger. Little finger. Left wrist, completely relax. Left elbow, healing, starlight point of light. Left shoulder. Throat, see or feel the light in the throat center, letting go, be open. Center of the right chest. Heart center, point of light. Left chest. Heart center, awareness in the heart. Navel center. Top of the sacrum. Right hip joint, point of light. Right knee. Right ankle. tip of the right big toe, second toe, third, fourth, tip of the little toe, point of light, right ankle, right knee, right hip joint, point of light, top of the sacrum, relax, left hip joint, healing, point of light, left knee, left ankle, tip of the left big toe, second toe, third, fourth, tip of the little toe, point of light, left ankle, knee, hip, point of light, top of the sacrum, navel center, heart center, throat center, midbrain or third eye, point of light. Relax the whole body, star-like point of light in the midbrain or third eye. Now see all of these points at once, like twinkling lights in the night sky. All of these points are vibrant, awake, and luminous. The body has become a constellation of points of light. Now sense the space between those points, pure, undiluted spaciousness. Know that you are space and points of light. Notice your breath moving through that space. Spacious awareness, conscious of the breath that moves through that space. Now sense that your body has dissolved. You are a cloud or rose-colored light. The boundaries of the body have dissolved into a cloud of rose color. Dissolve any thoughts, any grasping or concepts. Just melt into a rose-colored cloud. As you dissolve, you become the cloud aware of itself. Finally, let go completely. No image, no more becoming. Simply rest in timeless being. Sense your breath as your link to boundless intelligence and consciousness. Slowly find your way back into your body by taking a few deep breaths, wiggling some fingers and toes, maybe stretching a little bit. Rolling to one side, take a couple of breaths there. And then find your way to a seated position. And once there, place your palms together at your heart. Slight bow of the head to the goodness within, and to honor the choice you made to be here in this practice, this time of self-care. Honoring each other for the time that you take before class to connect and share and support. And I thank you for allowing me to take this seat of teacher. Namaste.